Hello and welcome to AQA GCSE Biology Revision B1, and today we'll be talking about weight problems and inheritance and how it can affect your health. So let's get started. So here we're just as a starting thing, we have a BMI, and for those of you who don't know what BMI is, it's what doctors use to sometimes determine your health. I mean, you may have your doctors may have used it for you, maybe not, but basically it takes in your weight and then divides it by your height squared, and it's all in kilograms and meters. But we're gonna go back to that in a minute, because as you know, your BMI can be used to say whether you're healthy, whether you're obese or not. But what makes you obese, and why do people become obese? Well, it's all down to energy balance. And what energy balance is, it's like I guess we could draw a little diagram for that. It's gonna be a really dodgy diagram because I'm not on my thingy. But here we have a scale, or a seesaw maybe, and here we have the food you take in. Let's do that in a different color. Food you take in, ironically, it's in a really sick color, like vomit color, which is ironic. And thing that comes out is purple. Sorry. The energy you take in and energy you use. Sorry. That's how energy balance is. So right now, these are two balanced balls, you guess. But I want you to picture as on the left side, also on the left, and on the right. Okay. On the left side, you've got the amount of energy you take in, which is from your food, and the right side is the amount of energy you actually use, maybe from like exercising, sports, etc. Now, if it's perfectly balanced, then you're gonna stay. I guess your mass won't change as much. But say, for example, your energy usage is far greater if your energy usage is far greater than the amount of food you eat in, right? It's going to actually, I'm going to draw another thing. This might seem a bit confusing, but right, for now, we're going to draw. So no, when you use a lot more energy, you're going to lose mass because the amount of food you take in won't be sufficient or the amount of energy you take in won't be sufficient enough for the energy usage. So it will use some of the fat from your body, or some of the fats from your body to turn into energy, which is why you lose mass when you get thinner. I guess you can say when you exercise a lot and don't eat much. And vice versa, if you had not if you eat a lot, like a massive amount, I'm not really going to colour that in as much, but you don't use up, then all that excess energy or excess food will be converted into fat, increasing your mass, making you fatter. I guess you can kind of picture it like this. The excess from the food here, it's going to drop off, okay? It's going to drop off into a basket. This is the first time me trying to do this, but it's going to drop off into a basket. If you can't really picture it as much, maybe it's going to drop off into a basket, and it's going to be on another scale, and there'll be another basket here. Now here on the left side, this time it's going to be increase. This will increase your mass, whereas that other side, the right hand side, will decrease your mass. This could be a different complicated diagram, but I'll explain what I'm trying to get at in the end. This could help you remember it. Not sure, but say we have excess on the left side, the energy intake. It's going to drop into here, and that means you increase it because the scale, I guess you can say, will go anti-clockwise, and I guess you can. So it's gonna increase it because the scale will go down and actually increase, and your mass will increase if you have too much food. Whereas if you have too much, if you use too much energy but not enough food intake or not enough energy intake, your mass will decrease. If you still don't understand, basically, I'm just trying to say the more if you eat a lot but don't exercise much, then your weight will increase. Whereas if you eat little but exercise a lot, then your mass or weight will decrease. And if it's a balance, then it will stay relative around the same. If you don't understand this diagram, then don't worry, it's not too important. It's just a really random thing I thought of doing. It might help. If it doesn't and it confuses you, just comment in the section straight away telling me to make annotations about this, saying it's awful and all that, and don't listen. But next we're gonna go over to so what happens if you increase your weight too much? Well, let's go back to this bit. If your weight is too much, well, what depends whether you're obese. Well, if your weight is too much, then you can become obese. But what does that really mean? Well, we can judge whether a person is obese or not, or overweight or not. Overweight is a quite self-explanatory word, but it just means above the average weight. You can calculate it using BMI, which is body mass index. What you have to do to work that one out is you do weight, which is in kilograms, divided by height squared, which is in meters, and you'll get a number around these numbers. You get an answer which is around these numbers. Now, if it's under 18.5, if your BMI is under 18.5, you're gonna let me use a different color. No. If it's under it, then you will be underweight, and that it can also cause problems. You could not have enough energy to walk, or just can't concentrate enough. So that is still bad. It's not just obese or overweight that's bad. Being underweight can be extremely bad as well. Underweight. And then if it's between these, so around between 18.5 and 25, you're fine. You are normal, and you're at a healthy BMI to be in. If it's over 25 though, then you're gonna be overweight, and if you're extremely overweight, above 30, then you're obese, and I'll just write that in like that. Obese. And what obesity, which is the noun for that, obese is an adjective, but what obesity can do, it can cause extremely bad health problems. Well, for one, you could get like type 2 diabetes, which is want to add to that here. Problems with being obese, right? You could get type 2 diabetes, which is the one you develop by yourself, not inherited, but we'll go through that later on. But type 2 diabetes, and that can cause problems as well, and it's caused by high blood sugar. There's also other things such as heart-related diseases and problems, but the main point there is it's not good to be obese. Well, it's not good for your health to be obese, or anywhere apart. If your let's just say if you're not at a healthy BMI, then it could lead to problems. But obviously, how do you stop these problems, or how do you prevent that? Obviously you eat healthily, and you also have to exercise a lot, because if you eat a lot, and well, as we have said, if you eat a lot but don't exercise, then you can still become overweight and eventually obese. And yeah, so main things to counter becoming obese or underweight as well is to have a good balance. To counter. Oh wait, no, I'll do that somewhere else actually. To counterbalance, to counterbalance. Oh no, to prevent being underweight or obese or overweight. I don't know why I did that in that order, but we're gonna put that here. This is a really messy thing, but to prevent being underweight, obese, or overweight, you have to have a good energy balance, which basically means the amount of energy you take in, the amount of food you take in, and the amount of energy you use is balanced. So that is all. The exam also wants you to know, as a side thing, that if you have too little food, you can starve, but I'm quite sure most people know that. Yeah. So we're gonna move on to the next part, which is so what can contribute to us getting health problems? Well, it's we can get it from having cholesterol levels, and cholesterol is basically it's a type of chemical. There's two types which the example wants you to know about: LDLs and HDLs, and they basically stand for high and low density lipoproteins. High density lipoproteins or low density lipoproteins, and you get these from eating saturated fats, and these are bad for you. And we'll go through what saturated means in chemistry, but right now you just need to know they're bad for you, and yeah. So LDLs are the bad ones. They're actually they can be good cholesterol as well, and HDLs is one of them. But LDLs is bad. They are bad. Sorry, not is, are. They are bad, and they can lead to heart disease. I'll type this up actually. Heart disease. And cause strokes and all kinds of bad things to your body. And then obviously, and good ones can prevent that. They can high density lipoproteins can prevent that. If you want to know how to spell lipoproteins, it's lipoproteins. As far as I remember, that's how you spell it. If I'm wrong, correct me. But basically, high density lipoproteins and low density lipoproteins, and the high ones are good, and they counter or lowers or prevents heart disease. Whereas that one increases the risk of heart disease. So LDLs increase the risk of heart disease, and HDLs prevents heart disease. And as a side thing, we have inheritance up here, but what does that mean? Inheritance is basically it's also to do with what you inherit, or like the genes, which is all to do with DNA, not the clothing genes. The genes you get from your parents when they made you, and it determines how your body is. And you need to know that cholesterol levels and also metabolic rate, which we went over last time. The metabolic rate, if you need to know what that means, is basically how quickly chemical reactions in your cells happen. But basically, you need to know that. So yeah, your metabolic rate, as well as your cholesterol levels, can all be determined by inheritance. So it may not always be down to what you eat. And as one last thing, I'm quite sure everyone knows this, but and it is actually vitally important, which is why you have it in school, and you need to exercise a lot. And I'm gonna try drawing like maybe a bike person. I'm awful at these. How about that for bike? Okay, this is terrible, but anyway, just ignore that. That's a terrible bike. But anyway, that's it. If you want to know about the keywords, they are around here. Mass is basically how much of stuff is in you, or you can also say how much you weigh, but it's not exactly the same thing. Mass is how much matter is in you. Energy balance is the balance between the amount of energy you take in and the amount of energy you use. Overweight is above 25 of your BMI, and it's not healthy. And obesity is a more extreme version where it's above 30 and it can cause severe health problems. HDLs and LDLs. HDLs are good cholesterol, and they stand for high density lipoproteins. And LDLs stand for low density lipoproteins, and LDLs are the bad ones. They increases the risk of heart disease. Now, saturated fats, again, we won't go into too much depth, but they are basically something that can contribute to high cholesterol levels, which would be bad. So yeah, that is all for this revision video. If you don't understand anything at all, tell me. I will explain as best as I can in the comment section below. And I always appreciate any kind of constructive feedback on the way I do things. Do you think I should be more organized? Do you think I should explain topics more clearly? I am going through the exam specifications, so I am going through everything you need to know. But a notification about this is due to that, because there's I would like to try and do every single topic, but sometimes there are ones which I don't think really need that much of covering, as they seem pretty basic and quite simple. If you guys do want any ones, request them. I'll try my best to do them, but I might skip some from now on. If you don't like the idea of that, if you want everything covered, then tell me. I will try my best, but I am a student too. I am in school, so I might not have time to do everything. But that is it. Hope you guys found this helpful. Leave a like, rating. Also subscribe to my channel for more of these videos. I do gaming stuff as well, although I'm not sure if you're interested in those, but hey, never know. And yeah, my name's Tommy, if you guys didn't know that, and I'll see you guys next time.